The alien girl. Everyone feared. But I couldn't look away the first time Jake Miller saw her. She was standing in the observation deck of the space station, staring out at the void with eyes that seemed to hold secrets older than Earth itself. Her name was Zara, and she was unlike any alien the human crew had encountered before. While most of the other species they had met were either peaceful traders or aggressive warriors, Zara existed in a category all her own. She stood 7 feet tall with skin that shifted between deep purple and silver depending on the light. Her 4 arms moved with fluid grace, and when she walked, it was as if gravity itself bent to her will. The crew of the research vessel Neptune avoided her like she carried some deadly plague. Captain Lisa Brooks had made it clear that interaction with the Zarathi female was to be kept to official business only. The warnings came from high command. After 3 previous human ships had encountered her species and barely escaped with their lives, but Jake could not stop watching. Her as the ship's linguist and cultural specialist, he was supposed to be studying all the alien species they encountered. Yet something about Zara drew him in ways he could not explain. When she moved through the corridors, other aliens would press themselves against the walls, their various forms of eyes wide with what could only be described as terror. Emi Rodriguez, the ship's security chief, had pulled him aside after his 3rd day of obvious staring. "Your fascination with that creature is going to get you killed," she had said, her hand resting on her weapon. "The Zarathi are known for their ability to manipulate minds. What you think is curiosity might be her influencing you." Jake had laughed it off, but deep down, a small part of him wondered if Amy was right. The dreams had started on the 2nd night after Zara came aboard. Strange visions of distant worlds covered in crystalline structures that sang in harmonies no human throat could produce. In these dreams, he walked beside her through cities that defied physics, where buildings grew like living things and the sky held 3 moons of different colors. During the day, he found excuses to be near her. When she was in the mess hall, he would grab coffee he did not want. When she used the research labs, he would suddenly remember equipment that needed checking. She never acknowledged his presence, but he caught her looking at him sometimes, her large violet eyes studying him with an intensity that made his heart race. The breakthrough came on the 5th day when the ship encountered a spatial anomaly that threatened to tear them apart. The human crew scrambled to their stations, but their technology was insufficient to navigate the dangerous energy fields. Other alien passengers huddled in their quarters, waiting for either salvation or death. Zara walked calmly to the bridge. Captain Brooks tried to stop her, but Zara moved with purpose that brooked no argument. She approached the navigation console and placed her 4 hands on different control surfaces. Her skin began to glow with an inner light, and suddenly the ship's systems responded in ways they were never designed to. She guided them through the anomaly with precision that would have been impossible for any human pilot. The energy fields that should have destroyed them parted like water around their hull. When they emerged safely on the other side, the entire crew stood in stunned silence that night. Jake found her in the observation lounge again. "Thank you," he said, approaching slowly as he would a wild animal that might bolt at sudden movements. She turned to him, and for the first time since coming aboard, she spoke. Her voice was like music played on instruments made of starlight and shadow. "You are not afraid of me like the others, should I be?" She tilted her head in a gesture that was almost human. "Your people have reason to fear mine. We are what you might call apex predators in our region of space. We do not conquer through force but through understanding. We learn everything about a species, and then we become better at being them than they are themselves." Jake felt a chill run down his spine, but he did not step back. "Is that what you are doing here?" Zara moved closer, and he could smell something like ozone and flowers around her. "Initially, yes. I came to study humans, to understand what makes you different from the dozens of other species we have absorbed over the millennia. And now I find myself confused. Your people should have been easy to understand. You are short-lived, emotional, driven by basic needs, yet there is something about you, about this one human in particular, that does not fit our models." She reached out with one of her hands and almost touched his face before pulling back. "My people sent me here as an advanced scout. I was supposed to return with a complete psychological profile of humanity, detailing your weaknesses and the best methods for assimilation. But every day I spend among you, I discover new contradictions." Jake swallowed hard. "What kind of contradictions? You should be terrified of me. Your Amy Rodriguez has the right instincts. I could kill everyone on this ship without breaking what you might call a sweat. I could make you all believe that serving my people was your greatest desire. Yet you stand here knowing this and you do not run, because running would not change anything exactly, and that response alone proves that humans are more complex than we anticipated. Over the following days, their conversations continued. Zara revealed more about her people, the Zarethi and their methods of conquest. They did not destroy civilizations, they perfected them. They would study a species until they understood every aspect of their culture, psychology, and technology. Then they would integrate themselves so completely that the original species would welcome them as saviors and leaders. The process was typically swift and painless. Most species never even realized they had been conquered until it was far too late to resist. But humans were different. We have tried to understand you for over 50 of your years. Zara explained as they walked through the ship's artificial garden. Every model we create falls apart when confronted with human behavior. You make decisions that go against your own self-interest. You sacrifice for individuals you have never met. You create art and music and stories for no practical purpose. Jake smiled. Maybe that is what makes us human, perhaps, but it also makes you dangerous. Their relationship deepened as the days passed. Jake learned that Zara was considered young by her people's standards, only 200 years old. She had been chosen for this mission because of her exceptional ability to understand and mimic other species. Yet humans had challenged her in ways she never expected. She began to change too. Her skin took on warmer tones when she was around Jake, and she started to mimic human gestures and expressions. Other crew members noticed but attributed it to her species' natural adaptation abilities. The truth was more complicated. I am supposed to return to my people soon, she told him one evening as they watched the stars together. The fleet will arrive in this sector within days and I must give them my report. What will you tell them? Jake's heart was pounding. Over the weeks he had come to care for this strange, dangerous being in ways that defied logic. She was everything his people had been taught to fear, yet she had shown him wonders beyond imagination. I should tell them that humans are weak, easily manipulated, and ready for integration. That would ensure a smooth transition for your species, but that would be a lie, and I find myself valuing truth more than I once did. Another human trait I seem to have acquired. The Zarathi fleet arrived 3 days later. Ships that looked like living creatures of impossible beauty surrounded the human vessel. Captain Brooks prepared for the worst, but the aliens made no hostile moves. They simply waited. Zara stood before the communications console, her people on the screen. The other Zarathi looked identical to her, but Jake could see subtle differences now. They moved with predatory grace but lacked something he had grown to recognize in Zara. They lacked what he could only call humanity. The conversation was in their language, musical and complex. Jake watched Zara's body language and saw the moment she made her choice. She turned to face the human crew and spoke in clear English. I have told my people that humanity is not ready for integration. You are too chaotic, too unpredictable. The risk of cultural contamination is too high. Captain Brooks stepped forward. What does that mean for us? It means you have time. My people will not return to this region for at least a century. What you do with that time is up to you. The Zarathi fleet departed within the hour. But Zara remained behind. She found Jake in his quarters. Packing her few belongings, I have been exiled from my people, she said without preamble. The punishment for lying to the collective is to be cut off from the shared consciousness permanently. Jake looked up from his computer. I am sorry, she smiled, an expression that looked perfectly human on her alien features. Do not be. I have learned something my people never understood. Sometimes the greatest growth comes from choosing connection over conquest. Love over logic, are you saying? I am saying that this human has taught this alien that there are some things more valuable than efficiency and perfection. Jake stood and took her hands, all 4 of them, in his "What happens now?" Now we discover what it means for 2 different species to build something new together. Your people are going to need to prepare for when my people return, and I intend to help you do it. As the ship continued its journey through space, Jake realized that the most dangerous thing about Zara had never been her ability to destroy or conquer. It was her kapeke,